You ever have one of those neighbors who thinks they're the sheriff of the suburbs? Meet Dana, mid-50s, pastel tracksuit, walks like her clipboard is a weapon. She's the self-appointed queen of our HOA, and my personal nemesis. The drama started with a coffee. It was a regular Tuesday morning. I stepped outside in flip-flops, coffee in hand, enjoying the quiet hum of my backyard. Except that hum wasn't from birds or bees. It was coming from my satellite dish. A very large, very official-looking satellite dish. I called it Orion. And unlike your average DirecTV setup, this one was connected to a classified Department of Defense relay network. I'm a retired Navy signals officer turned defense contractor. This dish wasn't picking up ESPN. It was doing stuff I literally can't talk about without triggering a black van visit. Anyway, there I was, minding my top-secret business, when I noticed something aggressively taped to my door. A violation notice. Unauthorized satellite apparatus. And I didn't even need to guess who sent it. Across the street, Dana was standing on her porch, arms crossed, lips pursed like she was holding in a sneeze, or judgment. She waved at me with her clipboard like she was knighting someone. "You've got 24 hours to take that monstrosity down," she hollered. "It violates community standards." I sipped my coffee. "You mean Orion?" "That thing!" she barked. "It's visible from the street. It's unsightly." "Well, good news. It's only visible from orbit," I said, trying not to smirk. She didn't get the joke. Instead, she stormed back into her house like she'd just won a battle. A battle she didn't even understand. Now, let me be clear. Dana wasn't just annoying. She was committed. That same afternoon, I got a ping from the DoD. Someone filed a public complaint about military equipment in a residential zone. Guess who? Then came the walking tours. Dana paraded a high school intern around the block like she was on a crusade. That mailbox is non-standard. That gnome is a security risk. That satellite dish? Russian interference, probably. It was so ridiculous I started recording her. Sent the footage to my old Navy group chat. Within minutes they were joking. "Deploy tactical garden gnomes. Tell her it's a decoy, and the real dish is in your grill." But the punchline? It wasn't a joke anymore. Later that night, the backyard alarm went off. I checked the security cam, and there she was. Dana, with a ladder, climbing my fence. She was halfway up the dish mount, wrench in hand, when floodlights snapped on and a voice boomed from the hidden speaker. "Step away from the satellite, or we'll assume hostile intent." She froze, like a squirrel caught in a Tesla headlight. Seconds later, black SUVs screeched into the cul-de-sac. Tactical agents jumped out like they were raiding a cartel. One aimed a scanner at her. "Ma'am, that dish is classified military infrastructure. You just triggered a federal breach alert." Dana's face went from smug to ghost white in record time. I was just enforcing HOA rules. The agents weren't impressed. They let her go, with a very serious citation. But Dana? She doubled down, called an emergency HOA meeting, tacked up flyers titled "Satellite Crisis, One Man's Dish is Everyone's Threat." She claimed the dish gave her poodle anxiety, said it interfered with her dental fillings. I wish I was kidding. At the meeting, she unveiled the Dish Dismantling Initiative. But before she could pass around a vote, Martin, our retired Air Force radar guy, stood up and said, "Dana, if you touch that dish again, you're probably looking at 5 years in federal prison." Someone in the back muttered, Can we vote on banning Dana instead? Cue the chaos. Her plan? Blocked. But if Dana couldn't win with rules, she went rogue. Flyers showed up with blurry images of my dish circled in red. You are being watched. She even created a website accusing me of operating mind frequency zones. It was bananas. At this point, the DoD stepped in, gave me the green light to host a community educational briefing. Translation: tell them just enough to make them stop asking questions. The night of the meeting, the clubhouse was packed. I walked up in jeans and a collared shirt, like I hadn't spent the day encrypting data streams. I gave a vague but impressive presentation. Satellite comms, national security, blah, blah, blah. Final slide? A video showing encrypted data bouncing from space to a secure base with the caption, "This is what your neighborhood helps protect." People were nodding. A few even clapped. Dana stood up in the back. So what you're saying is, we're part of a military test zone? I smiled. More like a shield. You're welcome. Laughter. Applause. Dana stormed out again. Days later, I got a visit from the HOA vice president. "We voted to exempt your dish from all visibility rules," she said, sheepish. "Also, we're considering removing Dana. She's become a liability." Now here's where it gets spicy. At the community picnic, Dana reappeared. Different hair color, same crazy eyes. She didn't mingle, she scouted. Watched the dish like it had insulted her mother. That night, security alert, Dana. All in black. Carrying a duffel bag full of copper wire and what looked like a homemade signal jammer. I hit the panic button. Spotlights, sirens, mechanical voice. "This area is under federal protection." She froze like she'd just been beamed up. Again, agents arrived. Quiet, fast, surgical. This time, she was detained for real. Her HOA privileges? Revoked. House? Listed for sale the next week. The final kicker? A plaque arrived in the mail. "For continued civilian support of national security." I placed it next to my surveillance gnome. Fitting. And the dish? Still standing. Still humming. Still protected. As for Dana? Well, she moved. Probably to a desert somewhere. Hopefully far away from satellites and tinfoil hats. But let me ask you this. Have you ever had a neighbor go this far over something they didn't understand? Drop your craziest HOA story, or tell me if you'd want a dish like mine, in the comments below. I read them all. And hey, maybe I'm not the only one with a surveillance gnome.